Ba 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 ba. Are we gonna get anyone in the first few seconds? No? Alright. Fine. Just to be at the back. Hey, Coda. I probably shouldn't be copying these eyes exactly now I think about it. I don't like the look of that eye. Whoa. My microphone just had a huge crash out. Why can't I draw eyes today? What is wrong with me? Hang on, let me quickly throw in something to do my eyes for me. 2 seconds. Because I really cannot do this today. And I don't know why. Transform. Pull in a really old piece of art. Look, transform. We'll just turn this off for a sec. I really gotta work better on, like, talking, don't I? Anyways, this one is unfortunately not going to be a viewer takeover because it is law. This is a law stream. Let me quickly edit the title because I know. So, today is a law stream. Ah! Lovejoy fan, don't you dare. Lovejoy fan, don't you dare. Don't you dare. You're not allowed to. I'm kidnapping you. You can watch this while babysitting children. I'm not going to tell them to murder people. Oh wow, you're not even getting paid to babysit children. Drop the child and kick it. Oh my gosh. You absolutely have permission to drop kick the child. Just you drop kicked the child in self defense. Just be techno. Oh god, that was painful to say. How do I make blind eyes? I need to find a reference for blind eyes. Like a light blue gradient. Okay, I can do that. Right, we'll fix that later. No. That's our eyes done. Now, just over the top of the eyes, we draw the first person. I am good, Lovejoy. Thank you for asking. How are you? I'm gonna take off the symmetry tool now. You don't need it. So, law stream. I suppose I should tell you a little bit of law, huh? Do you guys want to hear the law, or do you want me to shut up and draw? Because this is for the book I've been planning. You want to hear the law? Okay, so this all started back in 2000. A biotech lab in the middle of nowhere, Britain, was developing a weapon that could potentially protect the entire world against war. Like a deterrent, like the nuclear bombs back in the Cold War. Unfortunately, something went seriously wrong and outshot a widespread fungus that changed anyone it came into contact with. At first, it was containable. It hadn't made it very far. It could be contained. But the research facility, they were sloppy with their work. And soon people started dropping. One by one. Dead bodies piled up on streets, and no one knew why. Soon into the apocalypse, several groups formed. Alongside the group we follow for the first half of our story, the hospital group. This group is home to a young woman called Raven. My OC. Hi Ken. Hi Astro. Bye Astro. And soon things got quickly out of hand. Out of hand. The hospital group had been one of the longest standing, with actual political roles embedded in. If you knew your place, you could stay. If you didn't, good luck finding a home. The hospital group, to this day, remains one of the largest groups in existence. Mostly because the others have been wiped out. What are you thinking so far? I know I'm not reading this off a sheet of paper. This sort of series has been in development for years. Just stewing in my head. And I've never quite managed to put it into function. It's poggers. Okay. Now, As the apocalypse progresses, it soon becomes apparent the fungus has no cure. It's no longer about survival. Well, it is obviously about survival still, but it's no longer about finding a cure and saving the world. It's every last man for himself. Things start falling apart. Friendships shattered. Bonds grown over years of surviving together destroyed. Friend turning on friend, brother on sister. It's chaos. And the only people who could save are gone. Wiped out by the very virus meant to protect them. In the background, the eyes are going to be one of the special infected called the Nightcrawler. It is blind, but extremely powerful. It has an extremely attuned sense of hearing and is extremely quick and very, very strong. The person stood up here. I haven't actually introduced her yet. This is Alice. She dies quite quick into the book, but she does play a major role in the main character's story. But this isn't the main character, not yet. The main character is going to be this one in the front here. This one I'm about to draw here, this is going to be Kyoko. Wait, no. Dex, Yuna, Kyoko, Vera, Raven. This is only a practical sketch for now. This isn't how the original, the end result is gonna look when I'm done. In terms of how everyone looks. We should probably talk about Dex while we're drawing him. Dex is the main character's adoptive father. Genuinely not suited to interaction unless it's a fight. He comes off as quite awkward, but also quite cruel. But really, deep down, he's just a sweetheart, trust me. He is the product of a failed biochem experiment. Though, I'm not sure if you could call it failed. He's much stronger than the average person. With wit beyond what is usually comprehensible. And strength beyond anything the gods could ever have imagined. He could take down entire kingdoms on his own without breaking a sweat. But instead, he spends a majority of his energy making sure that his people and his family are okay. Which is kind of nice. I would be horrified if I had to do a villain deck because there is no surviving villain deck. He is just gonna kill you. There ain't no two ways about it. comes off as brash and kind of frustrating, but he is genuinely sweet. Next to him, we have his wife, and the leader of the hospital camp. She too can come off quite harsh, but is also genuinely sweeter once you get to know her. She's a brilliant leader, though. Stunning. And she's not like one of them petty leaders that'll sit back and let her soldiers do all the work. She often puts herself into danger on purpose, whether saving someone or simply just taking matters into her own hands. This is why her people love her. If there's a way they live, then they're going to live. I just realised it's going to be really mentally draining for me to draw this in many characters, isn't it? While having to talk about them. Oh my god. Luckily they're mine. Now we move on to Kyoko. Actually, I'm going to start labeling everyone. So, Kyoko is actually the main character's wife. The only thing keeping our little girl over here sane. Yes, I had to put a little bit of gay love in it. Gosh, Coda, every time I open the chat and I see your "That's Poggers" message, I think of that one Quackity stream. That's Poggers, that Poggers, don't I? That's not Poggers. And my microphone's glitching. Oh, we're back. I hate when it does that. Yeah, she's super duper sweet. Kyoko might be honestly one of my favorite supporting role characters I've ever had. And she's the one displayed in the animation I'm not ever going to finish because I haven't even started. Where it's like, I love you, no, you don't, no one ever has. Well, I'm different. And she was. She was different. She really was. And there is no one Raven would rather be with. Raven would rather be with. Anyway, on to Vera. Vera. Whoo! She is one sassy cow. She's the sort of person who knows what you should have done 15 minutes ago. Never says anyone, never says anything and says, you guys only just figure that out now when they finally get it right. She's always 2 steps ahead, even though she's more quiet. She's a sassy little cow and I love her. Later in the story, when we get to see Raven's camp, we find that Vera has been immediately promoted to her second in command. And honestly, no one is shocked. These two have had each other's back since day one. I'm actually really not liking this art piece. It's not good. The lore is good, but the artwork isn't. Not for this one. And on to the man, the myth, the legend. Well, the woman, the myth. I can't be bothered to finish this. Just this one in particular is annoying me, and I can't do it. So let's find something more interesting to draw. There's just too many characters for me. You know what? We're gonna yap about lore while I draw cats. We're gonna yippity yappy yappity yappy yap about lore while I draw my main characters as cats. Because cats are just cuter. You know, cats are just cuter. So, anyways, the main part of the law that's like important is the fact that both, like, it's a huge story that is nowhere near its completion point at all. It's like a comprehensive list of things. And I'm not quite ready for it to be finished yet. But like, I don't know how far I'm ever going to get into fixing the law, mainly because it is such a comprehensive story. Hang on 2 seconds. This is. I don't know what's wrong with me. I was so excited to draw, and then everything just went down the drain. Let me find a. Oh, here you go. Let's draw this one again. We're still gonna make it my OC. We're just gonna make it a little easier on me. Take it easy on me, baby. Take it easy on my heart. I still don't know where we're starting, but I guess sometimes are hard. You could tell a person that you trust them when you stop and lower your guard. Here we have a chance for some adjustment. Give it a try, it's not that hard. I'm telling you, this life is amazing when you greet it with open arms. But like, my favorite part about the main character is that she is the sort of person who could punt you in the face hard as she can, punt you in the face, then shrug, say whoopsie, and if you try and attack her, she will just kill you. And the thing is, she can punt you in the face as well. She is strong. I like having OCs that can absolutely destroy you and then laugh about it. Coda, what are you doing? You've gone quiet, and normally that means you're up to something. What are you up to? Coda! Good, you're still here. I was getting worried. This life is amazing. Oh, I cannot stop singing that song. Use that key and make me bleed radiator. And our season is not a devil in hell. Turn down the chance to meet her. Coda, that wasn't even half of the lore. And that's not even the OC lore. That's just the backstory for what's happening. Oh, Coda. Oh, you poor sap. No, you're fine. Because it is lore. It's lore slash backstory. Either name works. You just need to know you haven't heard the half of it yet. But this comes from like years upon years of planning and failed attempts and genuine anger and disappointment and feelings of uselessness and so much more. In fact, I'd be glad to read you a snippet of the story I had planned a few months ago that I ended up giving up on, if you would like to hear it. Okay, hang on, let me find it because it's on here somewhere. Apocalyptic Adventures done right. Past all the. Huh. It's not under stories of mine. Oh my god. I just found my folder of old OC sheets. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's homework. Old homework. I'm pretty sure you can hear with each squeak that I am dying. Okay, that was just straight up plagiarism. Again, That's AI. Huh. Okay. I am. That is again plagiarism. Again plagiarism. Oh wait, no. Okay, this one's mine. Okay. Okay, so I found a story where I don't die of cringe. Wait. Oh, that's where I saved it. Hang on. Um, the story I'm looking at isn't saved where I think it is. I need to open this. Yeah. Ow, I just punched my microphone. Sorry. Okay. Coda, are you ready to. I want to see. Hang on. Let me see if I can make it so you guys can see this. 2 seconds. Okay, hang on. If I pause art, go back to this, double click this. Okay, you can now read along with me. You get to experience the cringe. Cody, you're excited. Oh god. Oh god, I'm gonna die. Okay. Hang on, let me turn on. Okay. Cody, are you ready? Frank. Bye bye, Mimic. Right. And here we go with the prologue. Snow screamed across the open plains, flung sideways by a merciless wind that carved it. Of course, my microphone chooses now. So of course, my microphone chose just then to start glitching. Okay. Snow screamed across the open plains, flung sideways by a merciless wind that carved at exposed skin like broken glass. A lone figure pushed through the whiteout, shoulders hunched, fingers clenched tight in the folds of a dark cloak pulled close to her body. Frost clung to the fabric, stiffening it with every step. Her breath came in short, controlled bursts behind a face mask that concealed the lower half of her features, fog blooming and vanishing with each exhale. Flight goggles shielded her eyes from the storm, their lenses already crusted with ice. Still, her head snapped toward the tree line at the slightest shift of shadow. The forest loomed like a black wound against the white. Too still, too quiet. She didn't hesitate. Her walk broke into a run, boots crunching hard against the frozen ground as she angled towards the cliff path. Snow sprayed beneath her feet as the wind howled louder, swallowing the sound of pursuit, but she felt it anyways. The pressure, the certainty that she was no longer alone. Her footing faltered as she reached the cliff's edge. Pebbles skidded loose beneath her heel and rattled down the slope, disappearing into the void below. Her heart stuttered, a sharp spike of panic cutting through her focus. For half a second, she thought she'd made it. Then the trees exploded behind her. A hulking figure tore free of the forest branches, snapping like kindling as it charged. Heavy footsteps pounded the ground fast despite its size, relentless. She spun on instinct, cloak flaring, fingers already reaching over her shoulder. Steel sang as she unsheathed her sword. She shoved the goggles up onto her forehead, squinting against the snow, and the storm seemed to pause around her as her eyes were revealed. One burned dark red, the other a striking, unnatural purple. They locked onto the creature with cold clarity. It didn't slow. She lunged first. The blade arced towards the creature's chest, the impact ringing up her arms as steel met thick hide. Or armor. She couldn't tell. The blow landed, carving deep enough to draw a roar from the thing, but not enough to stop it. A massive arm swung in retaliation, catching her across the ribs with brutal force. Pain detonated through her side. The world tilted violently as she was thrown backward, her feet leaving the ground. For a heartbeat, she was weightless, suspended between snow and sky. Then gravity claimed her. She went over the cliff. The fall was chaos. She struck rock and ice, spinning end over end as the breath was torn from her lungs. Instinct took over. She tucked her arms tight around her head, teeth clenched as her body slammed repeatedly into the slope. Each impact sent fresh agony screaming through her bones. Snow filled her mouth, her ears, her vision. Not like this, she thought wildly. Not here. She hit the bottom hard. The impact drove the air from her chest in a raw, broken sound. For a moment, she lay still, half buried in snow, the storm roaring overhead as if nothing remarkable had happened at all. Darkness crept in at the edges of her vision. She forced it back. Glasses. With a groan, she rolled onto her side and planted her hands into the snow, arms trembling violently as she pushed herself upright. Every movement protested. Her ribs screamed. One leg refused to take her full weight, buckling before she could steady it. Her sword was gone. She glanced back up the cliff, breath hitching as she searched the ledge above through the storm. No movement, no sign of pursuit. Good. Straightening slowly, she turned away from the cliff and began to limp forward, each step dragging through the knee-deep drifts. The cold seeped into her bones. But she barely registered. But she welcomed it. It dulled the pain, kept her conscious. The loss of her sword barely registered. Steel could be replaced. Lives couldn't. She walked until her vision blurred, and her steps grew sluggish, eyelids heavy beneath the goggles. It was only when a dark shape rose out of the snow ahead, a wall, thick and old, its stone broken by stubborn shrubs clawing their way through the cracks, that her shoulders finally sagged. Figures lined the top, silhouettes against the grey sky. Soldiers, spears, bows, rifles, too many weapons to count. She exhaled, tension bleeding from her frame. Circling toward the gate, she raised a hand in greeting. The metal doors groaned open, and two soldiers stepped out, weapons lowered but eyes sharp as they took in her battered state. Commander Rain, Mum, one muttered, shaking his head as he scanned the empty planes behind her. You really have to stop getting yourself injured like this. Rain huffed out a breath that might have been a laugh and waved him off with her uninjured hand. Nonsense, she said lightly, even as plane flared with the motion. Her other arm hung loose at her side, deceptively relaxed. Where's the fun in that? She allowed them to help her through the camp to the medical building, her eyes blazing with her usual authoritative command, even in her weakened state. She pulled off her mask. Her jaw was made of sleek metal. The same was revealed for her arm as she pulled her cloak from her soaked form. Medical! One of the guards shouted, raving over a nurse as Rain sat down, her face still calm. One of the nurses looked over them, looked positively furious as she stalked over to Rain. I told you to stay in camp. Not my fault that I am the leader of this camp and I have a job to do, Rain countered, her gaze sharpening in her fury. Is this really how you speak to your superiors? She asked, her voice dropping to a dangerous tone. No, ma'am. Apologies. What was that voice crack? The nurse stuttered, bowed her head, and moved to tend to her injuries. You two may go now. Call your replacements to head to the wall early and get some rest, she told the two guards who had helped her. I'll be sure to keep you two in mind for promotions later this month. She watched the guards share an excited glance before bowing and turning to leave. She waited until the nurse finished, leaving her alone, before leaning back and closing her eyes. Coda, what did you think? That's only the prologue. That's only a preface. That's not even anything important yet. It only gets better, I can promise you that. Has your pedestal? Oh, I've got to stop hitting this stupid, wonderful microphone. no viewers for me. There's a fly on my screen. And then the dark forest. Sweet. Is anyone even still here? No. Not a. No. Okay. 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 Well, I'm ending it then. Good day, good night, and as always, stay silent. Goodbye.